just entered the bear crawling nation on the No Agenda Street.
This is R. Mordant, and welcome to the other side of live. Welcome everyone to the #1 late night snowblown motivational show, otherwise known as the other side of live. Tonight's working title is Snow Flurries with a Chance of Success. And tonight we are both alive and kicking it from Gastonia, North Carolina, and the Bears Den in Monticello, Georgia. And deep in that Bears Den, going into hibernation as the cold encircles him, is the dark side of positive, Charles McFall.
Oh, Lordy. You have a knack for hyperbole.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Now, as I look that up, I'll figure out what you said.
I noticed that while you were gone to Louisiana, it was warm here. It was nice. It was almost springtime. I was wearing shorts and flip-flops and even turning the air conditioner on from time to time. You show up back on the East Coast and you bring the cold fury.
I did. And what was interesting, this was probably one of the warmer last weekends that of the Louisiana Renaissance Festival that I've had in a while. It was very warm. I was sweating on stage. And then that big storm came through, and at such an angle that as I was driving home, I probably would have followed it the whole way. I would have been in the middle of it. So I went a different way. I actually changed my route and added 60 miles, but stayed out of the rain for the most part.
Rathburn is calling us out in the chat room saying we're not cold.
You tell Rathburn that I'll tell her, Rathburn, I will be up in your winter wonderland soon enough. I will be in Minnesota starting December 20th. So I've got my parka that I'm going to bring with me. And I believe somebody tells me that I need to get snow boots, but I'm not sure about that.
I'm not sure about that either.
Now, you actually said that we would talk about something at the end of the show that I've got lined up for the beginning of the show, I think.
Right, but see, here's the thing. We've been trying to train our lovely listeners to know that they have a home where they can communicate with us, they can talk to us, and they don't feel intrusive. And I would love to include the cards that we got in the mail individually at the end so that they know anytime you communicate, it's going to be at the end of the show. You can call in live at 218-632-1724. You can call in a voicemail. We'd love to have it. 206-666-5458. Leave just a voicemail. Nobody ever will answer that. That's straight up voicemail. Speak pipe on the other side of live.com. Also your emails and, of course, postcards and a sundry of cool items to send to us. But I would like, I want everybody to know, because a lot of people, our listeners are awesome, but they run on the same kind of time we do. Crap, the show started 5 minutes ago. We kind of get behind as well. I'd like them to know that they can always catch whatever they send to our way at the end of the show. That's all.
Yeah, I'm going to throw out there that we are sitting on the eve of 12/12/12. Tomorrow is the 12th of December in 2012. So magic mojo is happening, and sometimes the gremlins come out. And don't let Uncle Mordant realize that he hasn't changed the time on his computer from Central Time to Eastern Time. So I'm like, I've got a whole other hour. And then as I'm sitting in the other rooms watching Game of Thrones with my good friend, I hear in the distance, Skype calling through. And I'm like, is it that time already? I rush over here and had to make a quick grab for other equipment and setting up and all that I had 15 minutes of setup. So.
Yeah, basically you answered with a practical, what do you want? Yeah, it wasn't quite like that, but it's almost like, I'm busy. I'm like, okay, well, 15 minutes, we got to do a show, okay? Unbusy yourself.
And I did.
You did.
For a moment, I sat there. Maybe I want to do one screen, but then I wouldn't have everything at my beck and call, and I need that. So
what are we talking about tonight?
Last week we talked about, it was TOSOL number 73, Once More with Feeling, Success Freaks 12 in December. And we had a good ending, a good closing to Double Your Income, Doing What You Love, and Raymond Aaron and Sharon Lachter's book. Sharon?
Susan.
Susan?
It's right here. Hold on. It is Sue. It is Sue. I thought it was Latcher, but it could be Lacker. It could easily.
She's never going to talk to us.
Not
you know
ever. Not ever.
One day she'll be on our show and she'll call me out and I won't even remember that I keep butchering her name. First and last, apparently. Anyways, we talked about that last week and I thought it was a pretty good show. What about you?
I've slept since then. I'm good. No, see, it was an awesome show, and I was going, ooh, this is one I felt like we really connected with people. I felt like there were some real moments from both of us, some awesomeness that we'd been working up to all year long, and I'm going to put it on a CD to hand to people in my Toastmasters group, to hand to the bishop of the church that I go to, and I'm editing the show down, polishing it a little bit, putting the end caps on. 123 minutes. I was like, oh, I cannot now put that on a CD that you can put in your car.
Why? How much time can it be on there?
120 minutes. We were 3 minutes.
Can't knock out 3 minutes. What about the end step where we're just,
3 minutes of awesomeness. What is there to cut?
Anyways, tonight you're going to have an interesting show because it is snow flurries with a chance of success, and that has a double meaning. But the meaning that we are most talking about is 'tis the season to be busy. We've got a lot going on and it's starting to show. I think it showed for me last week when during our business meeting towards the end, I was falling asleep. And I think I was a little bit out of it for the show, though. I thought it sounded pretty good when I listened back. But we've got a lot going on.
Yeah, that is, yeah. That we do, sir.
And I'm sure everybody else does out there as well. I mean, talk about your busiest time of the year. Not only are you setting up for the holidays, not only are you putting up the tree and putting on the lights or whatever it is that you do, you've got more work to do because your business is going to be closed for the holidays, or it may be, or you may be traveling, or you've got like us, a million projects that are coming out right at this time of year. So it's everybody, and there's just this feeling of sure, there's love, good cheer, opening of the heart and all that, but also a sense of being overwhelmed. The snow flurries, the blizzard that's coming for Christmas time.
Well, that's the thing, right? At least in the South. And I think this is true for people who just enjoy winter. The first snow of the year, and of course in the South, it's the only snow of the year. But the first snow of the year, the kids want to go out and play. Even the adults are like, wow, you have freedom, you have fun. But as many of my friends up in the Great White North have been complaining about, they have, what did Amanda say? Like 3 feet of snow outside of her door. And it's just hard to imagine. So sometimes the snow flurries, the snow flurries, the light work, the stuff that keeps you from doing other things, is a precursor to a lot of heavy burden. Stuff you can still live with, stuff you can still do. Sometimes it is just the work. Like in the South, we get an inch of snow and we think it's awesome, and we roll around dirty snowmen that have pine straw sticking out of them, because that's what we do. So what is your take? What do you think? What are you in the flurries now? Are you going, uh-oh, things are coming? Oh, that's the other thing too, right? I'm sure you've had to drive in it. And I'm based out of Georgia, as he said earlier. The Bears Den is based out of Atlanta, Georgia. And if it starts snowing here, people freak out because they don't know how to handle that kind of weather. So I'm worried. I'm worried when it snows. I keep my eyes on the road, see if things are sticking. As soon as it starts sticking to the actual pavement, when I was out in an office, that's when we shut the office down. We got to go because I don't want to get stuck with a bunch of people who don't know what they're doing as it's getting worse. Do you feel like your overwhelmingness, the stuff that's keeping you busy now, is that making you worried so you need to get home and then you can have fun? Or is it just a precursor to a whole lot more things coming? Or how do you deal with it?
For me, I'm like you in that I was raised in the South. I was from Florida, so any little bit of snow, an inch of snow and an inch of snow in Florida and businesses will shut down.
Right.
Especially since they're not used to it at all. So the stuff that's happening for me is not stuff that happens normally in my life. So it is kind of like that. However, I've spent winters in Minnesota. I've been in Minnesota in the winter of 2000, which was at the time, I don't know about now, but at the time, it was the second coldest, second snowiest winter ever on record. And you know what? They dealt with it. You know, as soon as those first flurries start coming and hitting the ground, the snow plows are out. They're salting the roads. So they're, you know, yeah, they've had 3 feet of snow, but everything's working still. The schools are open. Everything's fine because they know how to do it. So it's like if you're used to that kind of thing going on all the time, then you know how to handle it. It's not a big deal. But if you're like a Southern boys,
Yep.
you know, this is all new to us. So 1 inch is going to freak us out a little bit. And a lot of what's going on in my life, although I've done it before, doesn't happen all the time. So it's even a little bit. It's all right now. The stuff later on is going to take care of itself. The stuff later on, especially over the winter holidays, once I'm done with my Christmas show on Friday night, once that's done and everything's kind of packed up, then it kind of, my life moves forward on its own and I just have to travel. That's all. Once I hit Arizona especially, then it's all plane rides. No big deal. But it's all that stuff beforehand that I've got going on. There's all this juggling act. I've closed down a Renaissance Festival in Louisiana. I'm opening up the Tortuga Twins Christmas show that's happening this Friday. Talk about travel. I've just done 600 or 700 miles. I'm going to have like 21 or 2,200 miles driving across country, hoping that there's not going to be snow on the way. If there is, I'll adjust my ride too. So this is all, you know, smacking me in the face right now. And I'm not used to, we don't usually put on a show this time of year. So I'm a little crazy, a little strung out from all the road and all the work and everything else. And, but how do you parlay that into success? You know, how do I deal with being overwhelmed? And that's what I think we're bringing to the show. It's the same with everybody else. Same with you. I've got a list of things that you're doing.
That you do. Earlier this year, I shut down the grassroots podcasting group I'd put together in favor of joining the staff at No Agenda Stream. And it was supposed to reduce my workload, right? I was doing so much. I'm out there pushing so hard, and this is going to let me relax. And it has not been too much of a burden to work with the No Agenda Stream, but as we knew it would, we picked up more work with Success Freaks and with the Other Side of Live. And then, because that drives me forward, now I'm adding more things. I started doing Toastmasters of the Conyers Rockdale group, and I'd like to mention them. Hopefully they're listening. Welcome. You know, a few of them are going to try to tune in tonight. Is that Toastmasters from the Conyers Rockwell group?
Rockdale group? I've heard of them. They're awesome.
They are indeed awesome. I love them to death, man. It's great being up in there. And actually, last night I gave my icebreaker speech. And I got to tell you, we're going to talk more about preparation here in a little bit, I think. I hear that in our conversation possibly coming. I'm the guy. I'm the part of the team. We're a team, you and I. And as part of this team, you do the prep. You do we come up with the topic together, and we work on the title. And then I go think about stories and responses, and you get your points. Oh, here's a good quote that'll fit here. Here's a point I want to make. And you put that together, and that's how we work. I come in fairly cold. Ha, 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 snow flurries, cold. I come in ready to react, ready to just, what's going to come up in my brain? What story can I share? What thoughts are coming? But giving a speech, I hate practicing because you lose something. Now, I did practice. In fact, it'll be on the Conyers Rockdale Toastmasters Facebook page this week. I'll post it up there because I recorded my practice, which was felt a little stilted, a little forced. I practiced again after that with a little bit of an audience. And then I did it live, and I recorded the live speech. And it did. Practice made perfect. It helped me get through the timing issues because I had not practiced at all. My timing would have been awful. It helped me work out, okay, I don't need to repeat this so much. I don't need to focus here too much. But I feel like when I did the secondary practice with an audience, I feel like I said some cool things there that I ended up not saying in the actual speech. And that's why I hate practice. I feel like you lose something. But it ended up being good. I thought it'd be a little excited, nervous energy. You know, I don't get nervous, but I get excited. I did feel stilted in my motions, and that's why I'm there to practice. But it's interesting. I got up there. I had my tablet with the timer, so I could see the screen change colors and watch the. Because I do radio, I'm watching a clock tick down constantly, right? So a green light, yellow light, red light doesn't let me know exactly when to end. I needed a clock ticking down. So I had that ready to go. I did use notes to speak from to keep me on track and make sure I hit the points I wanted to make. And then when I stood up and I said my opening line, after everything was set, it was almost like the Matrix. Everything just kind of froze. And I'm sitting there and I'm just hitting my points. And I'm looking at my clock going, I can expand on my point here. And it worked. And I hit the point I wanted to make. I moved, smooth transition into the next thing. It was beautiful. I dodged bullets. I flew like nobody's business. You know, I turned Agent Smith inside out. It was awesome. It was really cool. And when time came up, I got to close. I got to choose my ending when I wanted it instead of feeling rushed. But I got to tell you, 6 minutes is short. I need 60 minutes if I'm going to give a speech.
And you shall have some. My first few times in Toastmasters when I was speaking, whether it was table topics or an actual speech, I was always running short a little bit. And, you know, just I would make it in the appropriate time, but not really stretching it all the way till the end. Till this last time when I was in Minnesota, I was comfortable enough. I'd become comfortable enough in front of people that I was able to kind of draw it out, and I would watch them flipping the cards and giving me those different colors. And like, there's the green. Okay, I'm just talking, blah, blah. There's the yellow, da, 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 da. And it wasn't red yet, so I'm like, and I'll throw in this extra point. There's the red. Now it's time for me to end. It was nice. It was nice to be that comfortable, to have gotten to that point instead of just, wow, okay, that was quick.
Yeah, so. That's what she said. Oh, I'm sorry. But yes, preparation helps. You are huge on prep. I am huge on fire at me, let's go. I've learned from you, and I think you've learned from me, and there's something to be said for both schools of thought. And it felt, like I said, when I gave the speech, it felt great, but practicing, dude, okay, for all of my longtime fans who follow me in the Bear Calling Nation, I see, a couple of them in the chat room tonight. Alex of Seventh Row Center is here, and I saw Amanda pop up and Rock Girl. I talk. And in fact, that was one of my opening jokes was, hi, I'm Charles. I'm a speechaholic. And got a few laughs. But when I first practiced that, I was literally at 6 minutes, which is the end time, right? You get 6 minutes, 30 seconds total, but you really should stop at 6. I was still halfway through my first point. I was like, holy crap, that's gonna be, I just cut and I tooled and I forced, and it came out great, and you'll see the end result. It'll be posted up on Facebook, hopefully by this weekend. But that's one of the things I've got going. That's one of the things I've added was to become better at the radio gig.
That's your first point. That's one of the things you've got going on. That did take 6 minutes.
Yeah, see? I'm telling you, I can speak, baby. I can feel it.
Not only have you got stuff going on, I've got stuff going on, but we've got stuff going on too.
Yep.
I mean, there's Vegas and NMX coming up, and the preparation for that is beginning to happen. There's the brand new Success Freaks Incorporated. We're all excited about that and working out all the details for that thing. And then, of course, in June, we're going to have our Success Freaks Atlanta 2013. Very excited about that. But it's all more work. It's all more work. A lot of stuff going on top of everything that's happening right now. Snow flurries, all of this coming at us. And yet there's that chance of success. There's that chance, as long as you can ride out that wave and not be too overwhelmed, and learn it, just like when you're speaking in front of a crowd, as with Toastmasters, that systematic desensitization. You're standing up in front of people and you're really, really nervous. You don't know what to do with your arms or your body or anything, but you do it long enough, you do it enough times, and you get used to it. Oh, I can do this. And then you can work on the little nuances. So it's just like that, as far as being able to work out all these things that are making us feel overwhelmed. You get used to it. You move forward with everything, and then you can turn that, whatever it is that's been overwhelming you, into a success. There's that chance of success, is what we're going to talk about. Talking about how to deal with that feeling of being overwhelmed. How do you deal with it?
I eat a lot of kittens. They taste like dirt. Anyway, never mind. Excuse me. You know, I talk. Yeah, go back to a redundant point. I talk a lot. I talk to you as a sounding board. I talk to Angie. Of course, I discuss things with my wife. Sometimes it goes so far as to have to call up my best friend and sound things out. But basically, I try to unburden my mind or my soul or whatever I can do, and by talking it out, saying, it's good to know that somebody knows that I'm overwhelmed here, that I'm working. Because a lot of times you guys will give me ideas I never would have had on my own. Because when you're carrying a burden, when you're juggling, speaking, and you're juggling new kid on the way and working overtime and working on your company and, all the other things that you're juggling too, Mordant, you can't see all the options. You're just worried that you don't drop something, right?
Right. Yeah.
So you ask your friends. That's what I do. That's one of the things that I do is I talk it out for somebody to go, hey, just take a different perspective here. You don't have to worry about all of that right now. Let's put it blah, 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 blah. That's me. I mean, what do you do? How do you, dude, you're doing a huge theater show Friday and then trying to get on the road Saturday or maybe even Sunday to do a 50-something hour drive. That's a bit overwhelming.
Right, and I've done that before, so that's the easy part, because I know I'll be sitting there. I won't have to be studying a script anymore, so I'll be able to listen to a book on my iPod or talking to people on the phone. I have a hands-free device in my truck, so I can just yak at whoever I want to while I'm going. But with all this other stuff going on, you're right, it does. There's a lot of stress that goes along with it. And there's a lot of negative ways of dealing with the stress. Some people drink or smoke or, sometimes I'll eat a lot. Sometimes I just need to go shopping. I'm like, I don't feel good. I need to go out and buy something. Oh, looks, this is on sale. Or just panic. That's another thing you can do. These are negative ways of dealing with stress. And I found keeping on top of things is a great way of dealing it. Not avoiding it, because there's also that inclination to stick your head in the sand and go, no, I'm going to pretend it's not here, or I'm going to just not pay attention to it for a while. I'm going to go do something else because it's stressing me out. And then you get more behind, or you keep looking at the big picture with everything that you're juggling in the air at once. And then you realize you have so much going on and it freaks you out, as opposed to just going one thing at a time. Right. There's positive ways of dealing with stress and feeling overwhelmed.
I think
one of the easy. Go ahead.
I was just saying quickly, my major thing that's got me through stress over the last couple of years is the thing that I was taught by Dave Ramsey about money, about everything is temporary. It's only for now. I mean, that's the thing he stresses in his Financial Peace University or Total Money Makeover is that whole rice and beans, but it's just for now. He shows you that if you squeeze tight now and you dig out your debt, blah, 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 short term, long term, you become debt free, you become free, period. I learned to adopt that perspective of I can take a step back. A week or two ago, it was so busy. We're going somewhere every day. I was working so many hours, and then you're throwing the conference at me, and we're doing our meetings, and then No Agenda has like 3 new shows all of a sudden pop up that want to be on. I was like, holy crap. I took a breath and went, it's just for now. It's just for now. And I can put some of this off. Some of this I deal with. Some of this I just give a rain check to. And I get to it when I can in a reasonable manner. And if you just realize everything you're going through is just for now, it'll change. It'll change in a week or in a month or in a year. And I think that's up to you and how you work it to when it changes. Right.
I think that you hit it on the head, the nail on the head with, you said you stepped back and you took a break. You took a breather. You took a breath. It seems like such a simple thing, but as long as you can take a moment and pull your head out and just go, hang on, maybe look outside, look around, take a moment and get back to where you are and just pull yourself out of the panic. It's all going to be there. And you're right. It's not going to matter in 100 years, no matter what you're doing. and unless it has something to do with family members and it's an immediate, taking care of your child, et cetera, et cetera. Other than that, the JOB, take a breath, look around, count to 10 or whatever random number you can, that'll get you through it. And that will at least bring the calm back, because you want to bring the calm back, because the panic is not helping you get the job done either. It's certainly not helping you get it done faster. It's not helping you get it done better. In fact, it's probably tripping you up. So what you want to do is to bring you down to that level of calm where you can go, okay, yeah, I'm behind and there's a lot going on, but I'm calm now and I can move forward and I'm going to work on this and this and this, as opposed to going, oh my God, everything's happening once. What do I do? Well, panicking is not going to help, and it's going to delay you even more. So stop it. So take a breath, just like you said. That's one thing for sure.
Let's work this
I have
a little
more.
I'm sure you do. Do you have something as you work through your list? You have something eventually that you'll get to about preparedness?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Keep going.
It's mind your own business is another thing of doing it. And in honor of the holidays, wrap your biggest presents first. If you've got a lot of things that you need to do, make your list so you can go, this is everything I have to do, so you can look at it. And if that still freaks you out, you can't figure out what to do, then when you are thinking, go ahead and figure out which one is, put them in order. With whether you write down the numbers on the page or you actually physically move them around, put them in more order so you can have a roadmap for what everything you need to do. And then pick the biggest thing first, get it out of the way. If you want to feel good about yourself, there's probably a couple little things that you can do, but that thing that you're avoiding, that thing that's making you go, oh, I don't want to do that. And so you're also going, oh, I don't want to work on anything. And you just feel bad about yourself. Do it.
Do it.
Like our friend Doug Grady says, do it anyway. I don't want to. I understand. That's too bad. Do it anyway. I don't feel good. I'm sick. I got, that's awful. Do it anyway.
Do it.
Since last weekend, I've had a pinched something in my back, and it's been a lot of pain. I don't have time to sit down. And once in a while, I'll lie down and kind of relax and flex and move everything around and go, all right, let's try to get that fixed. But I got to do it anyway. I got stuff to do. So I work through it. I take care of myself. I'm sitting up straight and making sure that everything is good. And I'll go and see somebody about my back and things like that. But I gotta do it anyway. So make your list, mind your business, be mindful of everything, and pick something one at a time to work on. I get distracted easily sometimes, and it'll be like, I'm working on this and I'll remember something and go, oh wait, I need to work on that too. Keep on that one thing and get done with it.
See,
pick your biggest present.
Along the same lines, my companion view, because I am a companion of the doctor, you just don't know, is that you should always keep a mindful eye on the big picture as well. Christmas is coming. I mentally always tend to get in not a panic. I love to bring smiles to people's faces, especially my kids. So my wife and I start planning Christmas out probably in September, early October. If it's not something we can possibly wait to get a deal on, we'll buy it ahead of time. But like this year, we had to wait till the deals came out to see what was going on. And then I start thinking, well, I'm ordering these things. And there literally is plenty of time. I mean, you could probably order up to the end of this week and things will be delivered in time for Christmas. It's fine. But I'm ordering in the first week of December. I'm like, it's all ordered. Then I'm going, it's not here. It's not here yet. It's not here yet. It's not, and it's the 2nd of December, and it's the 3rd of December, and literally we have more than 20 days to go for it to have plenty of time to be here. So I have to look at the big picture and remind myself, it's only the 5th. Today, it's only the 11th. A few more things are coming in. Plenty of time for that. We've got gifts here. Think that it's going to go right. What you think about, you bring about. So you look at the big picture and get a realistic look at a time frame and steps, much like you're saying, wrap your big present first. Make sure that when you're looking at what's to come, you're not freaking out. Again, I want to use this story. I've used it before on the show, and it throws you under the bus slightly, but I'm using helium wheels, so it's not going to hurt, I promise. So when you started, Mordant, you started talking about the end of the year Tortuga show. At some point, y'all really started working on it about halfway through the year. Y'all had planned it. Now you're in the working phase. It just so happened to hit when you're also really getting fired up about us doing stuff for Success Freaks, and then think you had to travel or something else was going on. You felt overwhelmed then, and you started spinning your wheels. And one of the things you said to me is, I got all this stuff to do. And quietly and calmly, I was like, what stuff? I got all this stuff to do. I'm like, dude, that's not what we talk about, is it? Give me details. Let's work it out. I mean, immediately, you didn't even need to give me details. You went, oh, yeah. And your mind focused. Your mind just wasn't able to focus. I've done that a million times. And that's, for me, it's the big picture that helps, because I start getting so focused on all the little details. It's not here. It's not here. Where's the list? Oh, we forgot this present. It's not here. That I have to step back and go, hey, we still got plenty of time. And it's coming. And just take a breath and look around. So keep your eye on the big picture as you wrap your first present, so that you keep calm, carry on. Where's your towel? That's all I want to know.
I like how you're mixing all the metaphors.
Right?
Now, as you're really serious, if you're seriously overwhelmed by stuff and you need to just step off and take a real serious break, there are other things that you can do. And some of the things that I like are although it's a little woo-woo, it does work, is meditation. You know, if you have some way of meditating and just calming yourself, or just bringing, even if it's as simple as paying attention to yourself, breathing in and breathing out, and doing that for a short span of time, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Now, if you have a specific meditation that you do, that's even better. Something that can bring everything and center everything that you use, so your body already knows to react to it. And if this is something you can do before you begin doing your work, if you can begin at the beginning of the day where you're like, no, I've got all this other stuff, I don't have time for meditation. I've been like that. And then if I take a moment and go, you know what, I'm going to do this first anyways. The rest of my day is just mellow. For some people, it's prayer. Meditate, prayer, both. I don't care. Something that's going to help bring back your center, to ground you, so that you're a lot more calm and your blood pressure comes down and you can relax. If you want to, take a hot bath or shower, something that feels good. It helps relax you. It lets your muscles relax. You really want to do the double whammy on that? Meditate in the shower. Woo!
But
that really does it for me.
Don't fall out and crack your head on the spigot.
No, but if you instead of meditating, you're praying and you crack your head on the spigot, then you're all set. You're good to go. So whatever it is, there's also people who advocate, just go for a walk, take that break, go for a run. Me, I like to go to the gym if I'm overwhelmed with a lot of stuff and I have that extra hour. It's 1 hour. If I have that extra hour, go to the gym. Any kind of exercise, it gets your body to relax. And if your body can relax, you'll bring back a feeling of calm. And if you can bring back a feeling of calm, you're going to see all the other options in front of you. If you're all freaked out because of everything that's going on, you've got two choices, fight or flight. You can't see anything else. That's not much to choose from. If you can calm down to where you feel safe, you feel secure, you're centered, you're able to see, oh, instead of doing all this work myself, I can call Susie and she can do some of it. I didn't think about that because I was too busy panicking. So whatever it is that can bring you back, that can ground you, is going to help you make better choices in dealing with all the stuff that's going on. It's going to help you shovel that snow that's really right now just snow flurries.
And there's something to be said about being prepared. Now, there's two ways to do this. You can do your research. You can and ask people who've been through it before, but there's nothing better than experience. And I remember thinking a few minutes ago when you were talking about don't panic because panic doesn't get anything done, I immediately went, well, you don't panic because if you're panicking, you're just trying to survive the experience. You know what happens when you survive? You usually go through it again because you didn't learn how to get out of the experience or how to avoid it in the first place. So preparedness comes from experience, either other people's or your own. But going back to the whole snow flurry thing and our friends in the Great White North who are so silly that they live on an ice planet when we have something like heat down here in the South. I'm just saying. I heard a story on the news, is NPR or something. They were talking about apparently some new snowstorm was about to roll through somewhere in the north. I don't remember exactly what state, but it did make me think of my friends. And they're talking about how they're giving no drive advisories and this and that. But of course, people still work. It's the north. It snows all the time. Of course, you have to go to work. You put your snow chains on. You get prepared. Except they interviewed this lady who'd lived there for 20 years, and she was not looking forward to it because, and I quote, "I don't have anti-lock brakes, so I'm not really sure I'm going to get around." I'm like, moron. I don't mean to be negative here, but moron. You've lived there for 20 years, and you don't own a car that has anti-lock brakes, and you live on Hoth. Seriously, you don't have a Tauntaun? What's wrong with you? Preparedness, people. When you find out that you're doing the same thing over, like, oh man, I just did something like that, and how am I here again? It's not because you're stupid. Honestly, it's not. People, I used to say that about myself. I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. I get here again. I can't believe it.
What have you done that you were there again?
Spending
just
money.
On this woman from the Great White North, what have you done that's just like her?
I used to spend money like nobody's business. I used to get into debt and lose my bill money. And I'm turning around, and all of a sudden I thought I had a lock on it. I thought we had $100, and now all of a sudden we're bouncing checks again. And I've gone, how did we get here again? And here's the point. It's not that you're stupid. It's that you're not paying attention. You're not learning from the experiences you're going through. You're not learning from the 20 years of snow. You're not learning from in my case, 5 or 6 years of bouncing checks. And, oh, my God, how did I do that again? Because I'm not actually doing a budget. I'm not actually checking it 3 and 4 times a pay period. I'm not actually living within my means. I'm going, oh, I see there's $50 in the account. I think everything's cleared. I'm going to go take my wife to a steak dinner that cost $80. Right. You know, that's what I did. But you know what I've learned now? Mordant will tell you. He will tell you how many times have I called up and said, dude, something's happening in 6 months. Why are we not planning for it now? You're like, because it's in 6 months? Like, no. That's me 5 years ago. Now it's, no, something's coming up in 6 months. We're planning for it. We are planning for next Christmas right now. Me and my wife are. You know, that's what I've learned because I paid attention, because I don't want to be back there. I honestly, you know, we talk about writing goals, and you don't put a negative out to the universe. So I've learned how to make it positive by looking at what actions I can take. But ultimately what drives me is I don't ever want to look up and go, how did I get here?
Right. And the importance is, I think that's very valid. The importance is that you don't want to set your life up on this fear-based thing. You don't want to just go, oh, I'm afraid of this, so I want to make sure that I'm okay because I'm afraid of this. And if you're constantly, I'm afraid of this, that you're inviting that thing into your life. Instead, you're like, no, I'm not going to concentrate on what I'm afraid of. I'm going to concentrate on how prepared I am.
Exactly.
I'm just prepared. I'm not worried about winter is coming. It's more like, no, I'm always prepared in the summer. So you look at the positive. It's a small nuance, but it's very important, because, you know, we do believe that what we focus on grows. What we focus on, we bring into our lives. So if you're constantly afraid of, oh my God, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, I better do something about it, eventually that thing is going to happen, because you're screaming to the universe, consciously and subconsciously, bring it on, because I'm ready for it. Mm-hmm. Instead, you're like, no, the other way is, no, I've prepared myself. I'm a prepared person. So that takes away Murphy's Law of bad things happen, because it's like you said with Dave Ramsey. Once you start having your $1,000 emergency fund, the emergencies stop happening. Mm-hmm. Not because you can just pay for them all. You can, but just because you have a mental shift which affects the world around you. So once you're prepared, the problem stops happening, because it's as if you don't have to be taught lesson anymore. It's almost as if God or the universe is going, oh, you finally get it. Cool. Keep doing that, and I don't have to show you that anymore. So that's the good thing about that.
Exactly. And you know what? I had to learn by experience, because sometimes you have to smack into that wall to finally go, I'm done with the wall.
Yep.
You know?
Definitely.
And again, we're talking about how busy we are, and I know everybody is doing something during this time of year. Whether you don't celebrate the holidays, you still have a job. I think by the numbers that more people have jobs in service industries like fast food or so. Our friend Amanda, who is in the chat room, works in a mall. Okay, so even, I don't know what she celebrates or doesn't. I'm not speaking for her. I'm just saying, even if you don't celebrate the holiday and you can try to avoid it, you still have to go to work. So you're probably going to hit traffic. You're probably not going to be a hermit for the month and a half from Thanksgiving to New Year's. So you're getting out in the public. You might have a job that works with people. The thing is, you're busy. That's what I'm saying. You're busy. Prepare. Know it's coming. I'm sorry. I love how snarky Dave Ramsey is when he says this every time. Christmas comes the same day every year. It's not like it's a surprise. So don't tell me you got to use your credit cards to buy your kids a big old 40-inch screen TV. You know, when December 26th comes around, you know December 25th is coming next year. You can plan for it. Look up. That's what I've done to change my life. I think that's probably the biggest thing I've done to change my life is I just stopped looking down, or, you know, in terms that we don't use on this kind of general show, I've removed my head from somewhere that it was before. I started looking around, pay attention. I think that's the whole thing about the snow flurry thing, isn't it? Snow is nice if you're safe. It's bad if you're in a situation you don't know what to do with. Much like if I went to Minnesota and it started snowing, I'm like, I hope you like me because I'm staying on your couch, Rathburn, for a year because I'm not moving. I don't do more than an inch of snow. And then they're like, please, this is only 5 inches. I can get you anywhere you want to go, but because they're prepared.
Yep.
The flurries are dangerous when you don't know what you're doing.
You know, it's about habits, I think. We talked a little while ago about the power of habit, and it's about changing your habits. The Power of Habit is a book that talks about how there's 3 stages of a habit. There's the of course I can't remember
the trigger.
There's the trigger, the routine, and the reward. The trigger is that thing that's always going to happen. You know, you're always going to come up on December 25th and wanting to get your kids that you know, whatever thing they want. It's always going to cost you a lot of money. The routine is not doing anything about it, and oh my god, yeah, okay, I'm going to max out my credit cards. The reward is your kids' smiling faces. So instead, you want to change the habit. The trigger is you want to get your kids something nice for Christmas. The routine that you change is you save up for it, and maybe you buy it throughout the year. You pick those things instead of those last 2 weeks, that last month, you know, whatever. You find things throughout the year that are on sale or whatever, and you plan for it. And you're not maxing out your credit card. You're spreading it out. The reward is you get the same reward, smiles from your children. Mm-hmm. That's just one way of taking the overwhelmed out of the holidays. Plan for it all year. You can even make set yourself up with a goals list. And January, February, March, April, I'm doing this and this and then this and this. And then for my big one, I'm going to go out on Black Friday. I'm going to go late on Black Friday when everybody's gone already. And I'm just going to look for goofy things because it's fun then. That's what I do. I have a fun time, and, you know, I buy a couple things for everybody else, and I buy those things that I've been waiting for. And you know what? They're still there. Maybe I don't get the big TV, but who cares? It's not what I'm looking for. You know, that's just one way of taking care of one thing that could be overwhelming you. Sometimes the best that you can do, honestly, though, is just keep calm and carry on. You got all these things happening, and you need to take care of all these things, like with the, you know, if you need to put on a Christmas show and it's all happening all at once now, keep hammering at whatever tasks you might have one at a time until you can begin to see the daylight shining through the snow, what's got you buried. So, you know, just keep calm. It's all about getting back to getting yourself grounded. Change your habit so that you're not in this situation every year. And maybe it's not you. Maybe it's the, you know, the job that's forcing you into this, and that's how they handle things. So you are dealing with them being overwhelmed and their mistakes. So the best you can do is keep calm and carry on, one at a time. Find your center, whatever that is. And of course, I think the best answer with everything is, in all of this, and I think that everything and all that we've been talking about, is find a balance. If that means saying no to a few things, so be it. Sometimes we're overwhelmed because we take on too much. Yeah. Sometimes we're overwhelmed because we keep saying, yes, I can do that. Yeah. Yes, I can do that. Yeah, I want these people to like me. I don't want them to think I'm a failure. That's your perception you've got to deal with in the first place.
Well, you know, it's not just even that negative response. It's also the I say yes because I can. I love to help. Helping others be awesome has really pushed me into areas that I can manage, but it's very tempting to get in over my head and be too busy. And so I have to be careful there. And that's a positive thought.
Right. And you can delegate that too. It doesn't mean that, helping others be awesome doesn't mean that you're physically doing everything. Maybe the way you're doing that is connecting people who can help each other.
Read the mail, read the mail, read the mail.
Wow. Wow. That was awesome.
Thank you, Don Knotts. So we do have mail. And now, before we get into the mail, now, of course, we're going to keep talking. We will fill this space so that you're not left staring at your computer or your phone or whatever you are listening to us on. But now's the time for you to call. Tell us how you're prepared. Tell us how you've failed, how you've gotten overwhelmed, but you've picked yourself back up. I know Alex of 7th Floor Center, I think he had to go earlier. Or actually, he might be back in. It looks like. Nope, he had to go. He used to work in the mall. He was always overwhelmed, but he picked himself up, got the job of his dreams by being patient and keeping his eye on the goal. It was amazing. It's awesome. Call us. 218-632-1724. That's 218-632-1724. That's the live number. Call in now. Give us some of your advice of getting through the holiday season. Just share your happiness. Share your successes. Just share. If you're listening at home on the podcast, that's 206-666-5458. Or theothersideoflive.com has a nice square speak pipe off to the right. It says, hey, send us a message. So please do. We'd love to hear from you now. And we do actually have mail. Why don't you go ahead and start with that? So I know you've been dying to talk about it.
Well, for me, I got somebody actually went to my Amazon list and got me
You have an Amazon
birthday
list?
present. Yeah.
How do you find the Amazon list?
What?
How do you find that Amazon list?
I'm not really sure. It's out there somewhere. How do you find my Amazon list?
Well, I know Rocker. Actually, here's a tip for everybody listening. If you know the email address that's attached to the list, which I believe yours is mordant@qmiworld.com, you can go to Amazon, click on wish list, and it'll have a little block that says find a wish list, and you type in the email address. Mine would be bearcrawling@gmail. Yours is mordant@qmi, and you can find it. You can also try by real names, but that's harder because especially when we don't share them all the time, that kind of thing. But Rock Girl pointed out to me this cool little feature. Once you find a wish list, if you click remember, it'll add it to your list of wish lists. So if you have, like in our group, our Success Freaks company, we had all of our people make wish lists. Instead of having to hunt them down or go to our group and find them, I've hit remember. So whenever I pull up my wish list, everybody's list is there in order, and I can just click on it from there. That's how you find it.
That's nice. Actually, I think it's on our Facebook page too, isn't it?
The company list is. Our wish list for Amazon might be. We should do that. We should have our people put. Rock Girl, why don't you put our Amazon wish list on our Facebook TOSOL page? That'll be fun.
Oh, there's mine.
Oh, yeah, there it is in the chat room. I love that. Oh, there's mine.
Anyways, I got from our good friend, Historian 1227, came in, and I have a Harry Potter color change thermal mug, and it actually says it's black, and it says, I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good, and you put coffee in it, it turns white, and then it says mischief managed.
Nice.
So that and a Harry Potter shirt that says the same thing. So Historian 1227, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, and that's it tickled me to no end. I will be wearing that shirt very soon.
Now I got a nice Christmas card from Historian 1227 as well, and I'm wondering if she's poking at the southern aspect of this because it's two goats sitting in front of a fire. However, if you were to take offense going, what are you trying to say about the South? They're playing Scrabble with full tiles, so they're smart goats. If I'd thought longer about that, I could have probably had a dirty pun for it, but I don't because I didn't think about it. So there you go. But I've got this Christmas. Why are you not laughing at my jokes tonight? I do not understand. Put your headphones on, Thelma. Alma, turn your hearing aid on. You're not laughing at any of my jokes. You're irritating me. All right. So it's to my family, actually, which I very much appreciate. It said, Charles and family, sending you warm wishes for the holiday season. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. 2013 is going to be big, with a big smiley face. Thank you for all you do. And she signed it, and that's awesome. It's going to stay in the studio, go up on my wall of fame that I have cards from all over the world up there, and this is going to go right up there with them. So thank you very much for that.
Definitely. Now, before we go on and move past all this, we're still waiting for, so if you want to call in again, it's 218-632-1724. But there's something else I wanted to bring up. Sometimes the snowstorms, sometimes those flurries, they bring opportunities. I found a quote today from Vladimir Nabokov, which is
Say that
genius. Again? Vladimir Nabokov.
Say it three times fast. Come on, you can do it.
Never mind. And the quote is, genius is an African who dreams up snow. And so I had an affirmation that was based on that. And it says, I am dreaming up snow flurries in the middle of the desert. I am creating success where there was once only failure. So when life, and this is something that you brought in, when life whelms you, are you over it?
Yeah.
Or do you grab your shovel or snowplow and go hunting opportunities to dig out? So whenever there's a problem, it's not just a problem, it's an opportunity. Whether it's an opportunity for a business, it's an opportunity for you to grow, it's an opportunity for something, for you to become a better, for you to level up your life, it's an opportunity. So don't look at all these problems that you have coming at your way and going, oh, I'm so unlucky, oh, the universe or God is out to get me, or whatever. Look at it as like, okay, what do I need to learn from this? What opportunity am I missing? How could I help other people? Could I turn this into a business? You know, sometimes there's snow flurries with a chance of success.
There you go. Now I want to hear, if you're listening, I want to hear from my Toastmasters people. Calling in 218-632-1724. That's 218-632-1724. Because no matter what they feel about themselves, everybody who's at Toastmasters speaks well. And we're all there to learn. We're all there to learn. I kind of shared this with them last night as I was talking about Success Freaks Atlanta 2013 coming up and this and that, the other. I said, you know, no matter, I don't like to measure myself against other people. That's not how I measure success. But if you want to think about a step in your life, you're already a step ahead because you're here at this meeting learning to better yourself. You're learning to speak. For some people, that's a very, very scary thing. And they're doing it. And they're learning to speak, and they're participating. They're not hiding in the corner. I said, that's a step forward, because you used to be the person who sits on the couch going, I can never do that. Now you're in the process. And I'd like to hear what they think of the show. You better like it, or I'll fart in the meeting.
You'll
or something.
Cry. And the tears will freeze on your face because it's so cold.
218-632-1724. This would be a good time for a historian to call in and share some. It's getting to be that time. You can use the end of the show time as well to call in your greetings for the holiday, your wishes for everybody in this whelming of overseasons.
Tell us what's overwhelming you, and we'll commiserate with you and pat you on the back.
And as we plan, this is something I've shared with some people. I shared it with you. You and I are going to do a Christmas night show. Tuesday night is December 25th. Do we expect people to leave their families and show up? No. You have family stuff, you be with your family. That's all cool. In fact, I think most of our staff, most of our people, our team is they're off with family. It's just going to be me and you. But the way I expressed it to you is like, it's not going to be, here's point 1, 2, and 3 show. It's you and I are family. And this is our coming to the house together to celebrate that holiday together. I think that's what it is. It's going to be just us drinking our hot cocoa, and I'll have a fireplace soundtrack playing behind us. So we're in front of the fireplace, and maybe we'll just, if nobody shows up and it's just us, maybe we'll watch some Glee on the show together.
There you go. Well, I'll be up in a winter wonderland with my grumpy significant other. You will be down in Georgia with your grumpy significant other, and them going, you're doing the show now? Really?
No, my wife gave up on that phrase about 3 years ago.
Now, next week, we've got an on-the-road show.
That's right. We'll talk about that for a
traveling.
second.
So I will not do any prep work. We're just going to be talking.
Ooh.
Talking about how the Christmas show went and talking about where I'm going and all and what's going on with your life.
I'm glad you brought that up. This might become an annual event for us. This is the end of the year listener blowout, because you will be either at the just completed a 50 some odd hour drive from North Carolina to Arizona, or you'll still be in that drive finding a place that has good Wi-Fi, or at least a good place to talk on the phone. You're going to be worn out, but you're going to do it because the show must go on. It's what we do. I'm going to do what I can, obviously, to carry the show. We're going to be talking about stuff, but I thought this would be a great time. Team, Noverton, I think, is still here. And as Angie's here and Sharon, this would fall into Angie's category, I think. But let's promote that for next week. The end of the year listener blowout. You call in. The whole show's open for calls. Call in your speak pipes. Send us your emails. You still have a week to grab a postcard and mail it. The address is either on facebook.com/House of the Bear. I know there's one there for me. I'm not sure if we have a generic mailing address for the other side of live on that page, but ask and we'll hook you up to get us. We love postcards. You have a week to send them in. We'd love to get your cards. Call it in. Talk to us. Come hang out. End of the year listener blowout in Mordant. We might have to discuss this further, but do you think in the back of our minds we might come up with a Christmas gift for somebody if they call in?
Yeah, I think we might. I think we could come up. I think we could come up with something fairly easily. So there you go. Next Tuesday night is an on the road end of the year, last time you have to travel kind of day, and we really need your help. Anything goes from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. Tell us about how your year has gone. Tell us about what you hope for next year. Just come and talk. This is your meet and greet chance. This is your chance to just go, hey, I've always wanted to say, hey, now's the time. Now is the time. Now is the time.
Oh, so there you go. That's it. Let's talk about where they can find us, or do what you got to do, man.
If you are listening to us live, you can find us at theothersideoflive.com, and you can also find us on iTunes. If, however, you're already listening to us on your iPod or you're listening to us elsewhere, if you're listening to the podcast, we are live every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time at theothersideoflive.com/NAS. And, of course, the NAS stands for No Agenda Stream. That's
right. And we're going to be changing things up in the new year, new us, right? That's what we do. It's the new year, it's the new us. But right now we've got rebelmouse.com, REBEL, mouse, like Mickey Mouse, MOUSE.com/House of the Bear. You'll have all of my social media in one place. You don't have to worry about it popping up on your stream. You don't have to go hunting for it. If you'd like to just check in there from time to time, you'll see some really cool pictures. You'll see me level up on Marvel. You'll see all kind of craziness. And there's rebelmouse.com/Mordant World as well. And we're working on, one of the new things we're going to bring to you in the new year is we're working on an official show page that will have all show-related social media on it. And that's some hoops to jump through, but we like to swim in the snow. You know what I'm saying?
I actually had a friend of mine convince me you could do that when I was in high school. Yeah, if it's deep enough, you can dive in and swim around in it. I'm like, really? They're like, no.
That's awesome. Gullables on the ceiling. What? What about the emails? What else do they need to find?
If you want to email us, you can email us at TOSOL, TOSOL, at theothersideoflive.com. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/theothersideoflive. Just go to theothersideoflive.com and you can find us. All of our social media avenues are connected with that. So
and for those of you who haven't maybe missed a few shows or you haven't checked the website in a while, theothersideoflive.com does not just take you to podcasts on Mordant World anymore. Theothersideoflive.com is actually The Other Side of Live. It's its own site. It's beautiful. It's awesome. And from Noverton in the chat room, a nice reminder. If you aren't getting the newsletter from Success Freaks, visit theothersideoflive.com/newsletter and sign up. We have one going out this coming Monday. The third Monday of the month, we release those. You get exclusive articles by me on thoughts of my head experiences that don't make it to the show. You get exclusive videos from your good pal, our Mordant Mon, on what's going on in his life, but a behind-the-scenes look. Dude, I got to say, I'll be honest, I'm proud of you. You've really, with these video series that you're doing, you're really doing this is me, all guts and glory right here. There's no extra primping. There's no finding the right scenery. Not that you won't do a great scene at all. I'm not saying that, but you're not afraid. Say, this is where I'm right this second when I'm doing the video, and it's really cool. You can only get that through the Success Freaks newsletter, theothersideoflive.com/newsletters. Tell people about our Amazon.
You can find us on. Why do you give me the ones that you know about?
Just to change it up. I'm snowing at you. I'm snowing at you, man.
Go to theothersideoflive.com. There's a link to our Amazon. If you buy things off of Amazon, we ask that you buy them through us. It doesn't cost you any more, and it helps us out a little bit.
And you can bookmark theothersideoflive.com/Amazon, and then you never have to worry about it again. You just click on the bookmark, and it always helps us out, and it's beautiful.
Whoop, whoop.
I think that's it, sir.
That's all, folks. Thank you for attending tonight's snow flurry of conversation in the midst of all the crazy that's going on, all the overwhelming stuff. It's been grand hanging out with you all again. This has been our Mordant Mon.
And the sufficiently whelmed bear.
Ciao, dream catchers. What was that?
Oh,
baby.